Hello everyone. Today we will explain about comparison, module unit 2. But first of all, let me introduce ourselves. My partner is Aditya Kunchara Bakti and Aulia Gusti Rahman. I myself, Aida Milati Mardian. Our topics today to discuss is compare Linux and Windows. The first is from a safety point. Windows is the most frequent and most susceptible to viruses, so you must need either paid or free antivirus software. Linux security system is much more reliable than Windows. This is because Linux is developed by more people around the world, compared to Windows or only developed by a company. If you want to know more about safety point Windows or Linux, please check this link. So, Linux security is more reliable than Windows security. The second is in terms of how to install application. To install an application on Windows, you have to download the manual from the application provider and install it manually and then activate it if the application is licensed. Even though Windows already has a repository or Microsoft Store, it's still not optimally used like on Linux. In Linux, to search, download, install, and update application, all can be done through the Package Manager application with one click. This Package Manager works the same as the Google Play Store and Android. Or Android is Linux. If you want to know more about how to install application on Windows or Linux, please check this link. So, installing application on Linux is easier than on Windows. The third is in terms of appearance. Windows is an operating system designed to be used by a million people, so that it looks much more beautiful and easy to use. Linux is different from Windows because it is designed to build a server so that it only relies on a flexible display, namely the console. So, the appearance of the Windows operating system is more varied than the appearance of the Linux operating system. The next slide will be explained by Aulia Gusti Rahman.
Okay, I will continue the presentation. In terms of hardware support, on the Linux operating system, there are relatively few drivers available for various types of hardware and can also be difficult to find. Although the hardware can still be used due to other drivers that may still work the hardware in certain areas. On the Windows, drivers tend to be available and even updated by the hardware manufacturer itself, so that the driver performance on the Windows operating system can be superior when compared to Linux, especially for the hardware for which the latest drivers for Linux are not available. The Windows operating system is more favored than the Linux operating system. Next. For office use, Windows operating system is not in open source form, so that system development can only be done by Windows Factory Works, namely Microsoft. If you use your computer to play games or do tasks such as presentation or handout, Windows is also the right choice because it's easier to use. Linux is open source, meaning you can use, distribute, and even make changes to improve the performance of the download OS. If you work in the field of computer data security, use a computer device with a Linux operating system that can keep your data safe from dangerous virus. For Office, use Windows is more supportive than Linux. Next, in terms of price and designs, Windows is a commercial operating system development by Microsoft, whose program code is kept confidential and only internal developers can access and develop the Windows operating system. To be able to legally use the Windows operating system, you have to pay or buy a license first. Unlike Linux, whose program code is published to the public, which can be modified, developed, and used freely and for free without having to pay a penny. Windows operating system is more expensive than Linux operating system. In terms of usage, when going to use the Linux operating system, we have to download it first, while Linux is more widely used by programmers. All the PC or laptop are include Windows after you bought it, because Windows are more likely to student or office employees. Windows operating system are more common than Linux operating system. The next slide will be continued by my friend.
I will continue the presentation. So next is in terms of the most sophisticated operating system, Linux still can read the system file in Windows. Windows, it can read the system file in Linux. So Linux operating system is more sophisticated than Windows operating system. Next. In terms of sellable in the market, Windows operating system is more expensive but more in demand than the Linux operating system. This is because the Windows operating system is easier to operate for most people. The Linux operating system is very cheap. This is much different because to get it, you only need to download the Linux operating system that is widely circulation on the internet. Meanwhile, Linux is mostly used by programmers, so the Windows operating system sells better than the Linux operating system. Next. Which came first? The first version of Windows was released in 1985, which was a simple GUI, an extension of the existing disk operating system. And the main release was the 1995 consumer release, which had integrated Windows and DOS with built-in internet support. Meanwhile, Linux is an open-source operating system based on Unix, created in 1991. The Linux operating system also comes with a graphical user interface, with some necessary software which is used every day. So, the Windows operating system is older than Linux operating system. Next. So that is a presentation about comparison. If there are any questions, please write in the comment down below. Thank you.